When you thought about becoming a mom, did you ever think about all the changes that would happen? The shifts in your identity, the shifts in your personality, how there would be moments where you would look in the mirror and your 20-year-old self would be screaming at you going, I cannot believe you just did that. Or those moments where you go, oh my God, I sound like my mother. I know I didn't. As a mom of three, I still am impressed with the shifts that have happened and who I am. All of this, though, comes with something I'd like to call hidden grief. Now, you may be familiar with the term grief in relation to death, but we as moms tend to forget that grief is something we're actually quite accustomed to and experience on a pretty regular basis. Actually, hidden grief is something that we all experience. It's a natural and normal part of our lives, but we've been taught it's something bad, something to avoid, and usually something just related to death. Think about this. Those moments where we look at our children and go, oh my God, they're growing up so fast. Like, how did this happen? There's a part of you that's grieving, letting go of that old. Or those moments where you look in the mirror and you really go, how did I get here? I've totally lost who I am. I can't even remember the last time I did whatever it is you used to love doing. That's hidden grief as well. Maybe there's a health condition that's come about through motherhood for your children or for you, and you're having to face the realities of that. That comes with grief. The freedom and flexibility that you used to have maybe in your career, just in your personal life, in your relationship, that now has been taken because you also have this role and identity as a mom, and it impacts those things. That comes with grief too. Grief has been such a prominent topic in my life over the last 4 years since losing my mom suddenly. And as an expat, that's not a call you want to get at 2:30 in the morning across a large ocean, that your mother has passed away suddenly without any warning. But that experience led me to become the Transformative Grief Guide. I realized that this tool that we actually are all experiencing on a regular basis, as we let go of how we thought life would or should go and accept how life actually is, really was the tool that we should be using to transform our pain into empowerment. I wrote a book almost a year ago on this called The New Face of Grief that involved a workbook, guided meditation series, and things to support people in starting to understand how hidden grief is showing up in their lives. Because again, as moms especially, we know grief. We just don't always know that that's what it's called. It's those moments where we find ourselves sort of trying to doom scroll on our phones, right? We're just sort of escaping reality because we don't want to feel what we feel, and we don't want to think about the things we don't want to think about. So it's just easier to escape. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, glass of wine, where we just want to numb the high level of agitation that we have towards our kids, our work, whomever in our lives. And we just don't want to feel that anymore. All of these things are signs that there's hidden grief there that we're just not ready to face. That's okay. But the reality is we all have a purpose greater than being a mom. And if we don't start to face this hidden grief, then the desires of our hearts to live a life of legacy are greatly impacted. I want you to think about who in your life from your childhood, like what teacher or coach was really that person that shifted who you were, gave you more confidence, really encouraged you to be who you're becoming now or who you were becoming as a teenager or a young adult. Had they passed away already? Or were they alive and actively creating that in you, that drive, that purpose, cheerleading you through each thing? They're probably alive at that time. See, we're living a life of legacy right now. We're impacting people around us. But when we allow things like hidden grief to impact our personality and our identity, we start to find ourselves hitting a wall of knowing, hey, I'm living authentically and really creating the life that I want to create as a mom, as a career woman, versus hey, I'm hidden because I'm afraid of what people will see if they see all of me and they see these parts of me. And then all of a sudden our legacy is that we were always like this, and we were always focused on things that ended up really not mattering. So for me, going through my own healing process after losing my mom and recognizing I had a lifetime of grief that actually could be used as a tool set for helping others, having a greater purpose, living a life of legacy, I ended up creating a certification program to help other clinicians, coaches, health and wellness experts, spiritual leaders, and healers know how to work with their clients and understanding how hidden grief is impacting them, how to heal it, and be able to transform their pain into empowerment. I don't believe that emptiness is something that's a negative tool. I believe that the emptiness we experience because of losses we've had, changes, transitions, adapting to the things we didn't expect, is actually that emptiness in a bowl that we need to be able to fill it with our purpose and our legacy.